Good morning, traders. My name's Charles. This is the Pirate Traders live stream, and today is December 17th. It's Friday. It's a triple witching. There's a lot of options expiring today, so it should be interesting. All right, well, the first thing that jumped out at me this morning when I was looking at the daily was that we could potentially be just building a larger balancing area. So you can see the sort of like range, the volatility of the balancing area back in here. Pretty tight little range there. But then when we came down, we had that pullback. That balancing area had pretty large volatility. So what I'm looking at here, I'm thinking maybe this is just a larger balancing area that we're bouncing around in here. So, looking at it that way, I think the lows of Tuesday and Wednesday are really good potential support here. So weak references at both those lows, but they got the 50 daily moving average right below it. So if the market opens this morning and we get a gap and go, meaning the market continues lower without filling the gap, or fills the gap, finds support, and immediately heads lower. If we get a gap and go, the targets to me would be repairing the poor low from Wednesday and the weak references from Tuesday, and then testing that 50 daily. If we find support there, could just be a larger balancing area, which would be a look below and fail, targeting the opposite end of balance. If it fails to find support there, there's not much until we get down towards the 100 daily moving average down here. So I assume we're going to find support if we test it on that 50 today. As far as to the upside, if we could get back up into yesterday's range and stay in there, so pretty much fill the gap, and then we don't find resistance there, we continue into yesterday's range, that is bullish for continuation. But, of course, if we find resistance there, we want to go with the gap and go. All right, looks like they're going for the gap fill right away. Target for that is 46.42. All right, well, if the market does turn around and pass back through the opening price again, we'll be looking at the gap and go. So if that were to play out, there'll be some support in here around the 14 to 17 area because of previous volume. But I think the highest probability is repairing the weak references below. well, they're still going for that gap fill at this moment. So the target to the upside is 42, and then we're looking for resistance there for a pushback down. If we don't get it, they'll start trading back up into yesterday's range, which would be bullish. Good morning, Diego. Good to see you. J Trader, welcome. Mediterra. Open below 33 looks very bearish. Well, we did. Opened at 24. All right, crossing back through that open. It's a little bit bearish. Couldn't bring in the buyers to fill the gap. Market's going to have to pull back. Like I said, there's some support around 14, but if not, repair the weak references below down there at 4,600. Okay, well, very little support there. So they're probably looking to get down there and repair those weak references. Good morning, Philip, AMZ, Ray, David Glass, Arthur, Van Gulder, JG with the GM. Good morning to all of you. Trading Donkey, price down, people think bearish. Price up, people think bullish. Good morning. I think maybe balance. Like I said, on a longer time frame on the daily, I think we might just be in a balancing area. And this would be the lows of it here. So if that's the case, if I'm right, we should find support around the 50 daily SMA. Claudia, good morning. Design Knob, good to see you. Cyrus, welcome. John, good morning to you. Peter, good to see you. Do we cover NQ? Yeah, we do. We'll take a look at the Q. Now the Q is a little bit more bearish than the ES. So it looks like the NQ just failed to fill their gap by a few ticks. So it is still a gap and go, which is bearish. If they take out the overnight lows, I think the next target for support is going to be 15,606 area. On the Q, Nor Auto Trader, good morning to you. Scooball, good to see you. Desert Turtle, welcome. Ronald, good morning to you. The Zen channel and Danielle, welcome. Kim, good morning to you. Loving the two-way market. Yeah, I mean, it jumped out at me this morning when I looked at it. I've been so shocked by the volatility the last few days that we've had up in here. And then I kind of realized, it's just the new normal. Look at all this volatility. Look at all this volatility. Maybe this is just the size of the ranges now. So if we can find support on that 50 daily moving average, that will be a nice, good potential look below and fail to head up towards the opposite end. But if not, if it can't find support in there, there's not much else until we head down towards that 100 daily. So we need the buyers to step in soon. Whoops, mic not on. Sorry, guys. So I was just saying, the market should find some support after it repairs these weak references below, and it'll head right back up because we got some low volume nodes here that need backfilling around 21. Level with only 155 contracts, level with only 187. So trying to get back up in there and backfill. Once we find support, all right, well, it looks like the market is finding some temporary support there with that weak low. So they're heading up to backfill, but I don't think they're going to go all the way up and fill the gap yet. I could be wrong, and that may have been a look below and fail of a newer balancing area that we're developing here. But my guess is we're just pushing up into resistance right around the opening price and then heading back down because we just built more weakness on top of the weakness that was already there. So just history has taught me that many weak references on top of each other, they get repaired. So I'm going to remain bearish unless we get back up into the gap. Is NQ bullish? Oh boy. Again, exact same thing though. It came down to a tick, exactly to an old weak reference. So I think that's weak hands that bought the Q as well. So I'm looking for resistance above, probably around the 15.865 level, right where it pushes into that 20 moving average on the 15-minute candles. Should be some resistance there. What did ticks say? Well, right now they're starting to get above the zero line, but it looks like they're going to get smacked back down. So they're telling me they've absorbed that overnight activity. So if new sellers are going to pile on here to get us back to repair these weak references, we should see that by keeping the ticks below the zero line. Hot damn, that's bearish. Yep, right back up into previous resistance and then push back down. But we got, like we said, we got lots of support down here around these lows. So let's see a quick repair of the weakness and then find support. Danielle, I actually like that analysis. She says hedge fund managers know that we'll be thinking about the support down there, so she won't be surprised if we don't see a big spike down. Um, yeah, that's one thing that they don't buy. Whenever you get to like a big daily SMA like the 50 daily, they don't buy right at it. They like layer themselves in around it. So sometimes it does need to spike past, come back. But the good news is when it comes to support like this, if it is just dipping below a new balancing area low and heading up towards the opposite end of balance, you don't have to catch it right at the dip. You can catch it on the way back up. And then it's easier to place your stop. All right, the buyers are fighting for it. They're trying to get those ticks back above the zero line. They really want to hold that higher low, but they don't have the juice. It's a great point, Zeb. I didn't even think about that. That poor low right there at 46.01 was created in the sell-off that came right the moment that they dropped the notes for the FOMC meeting. It was like it dipped down, created a poor low, and then immediately turned around and went straight up. So that's some weak hands doing business down there. All the more reason we should repair. But the buyers are trying to step in here. They're working for it, making higher lows on the ticks. So there should be some support in here somewhere. Man, the buyers are really working for it down here. I still think they need to repair the weakness, at least the poor low. That would get them down to 4,600. And then if not support there, support down at that 50 daily around 94. Short down to 4,600. Well, Arthur, we're pushing up into resistance, and we have a target below that has high probability of needing to fill. So we sell into resistance, targeting lows. So that is certainly is a short. Okay, there's another poor low. Poor low on top of weak low on top of poor low. So this area needs repair. It needs a little spike, a little boop boop to the downside. But there will be some support in here somewhere, and once it finds it, it could turn around and start heading straight back up to fill the gap that it left behind this morning. Low still poor, so it's still weak hands buyers buying it there again. All right, so there's the repair of the poor low. Next target is that H and I low from the 14th. Okay, that one's repaired as well. So now we're looking for support. Getting a liquidation break. Remember, liquidation breaks can be good because they can squeeze out the weak hands and bring in the strong hands. Mediterra, barely a bounce there. Yeah, not a ton of support exactly on the 50, but they often kind of layer in around it. So I would get bearish if we start to fall below like 83. Well, I mean, I'm already bearish, but I would start getting really bearish if we got below 83. Looks like the NQ just made a poor low. They did. So this is likely just a push away from the poor low, coming back to repair it on the Q. Back to the ES. All right, I'm back to neutral on the potential support starting to come in. We don't have a clear signal yet that that's happening, but I'm not shorting it anymore. I'm looking to buy support. But Charles, the trend down. How are you going to fight the one time framing? Just feels like we're at a balancing area low. I don't know exactly where we'll find the support, but it feels like it's down here, so I'm not going to short it anymore. Like I said, though, if it gets back below 81, even actually 84, I'll be bearish once again. Ocean blue. Are we going to rotate or need more time here at the lows to see the action? It's tough to say. I mean, they're right now they're doing the right thing. The buyers are stepping in every time we get a little push lower. New buyers keep stepping in, trying to get above the zero line. But they may need one more push down. They may need one more little squeeze because the NQ still has a poor low. Oh, no, they just repaired it. So as of now, it seems like the buyers are starting to step in here, but not quite strong enough yet. Hoop, what does G and M low mean? That just means that on the, the things like overlapping it, on 12.6, the G and the M period lows were both weak. And those would have been the lows that created the momentum to the upside. Yeah. So that was the pullback low that gave us the rest of this push up from there. So essentially those weak hands probably already took profits, increasing the odds this will get repaired. All right, but it looks like that's holding. That's good support. So now the next resistance is going to be up in this same area just below halfback here, around 46.09-ish to 46.12. There'll be some resistance in there. If we can get through that resistance, the next target to the upside becomes the gap fill to the upside. But they got to keep those ticks up. You can do it. Zen channel, will it be a big buy soon? Yeah, I mean, it's already a buy. That was the support right there. So I I already bought that low, and I'm already above break even on my stop. That was the opportunity. But maybe if it wasn't enough of a push to break through this resistance, we'll pull down and you'll get another chance. All right, and we print the C period. So right now as we print the C, the market is trending down, okay? So there is, of course, potential. You got value lower. You're trending down. So there is definitely potential the market could go lower here today. But if this support can hold, the market can push back up through that resistance just above at 46.09, 46.10-ish. If it can get back through there, the gap fill above would be a good target to the upside. Okay? And then monitor for continuation from there. But the potential is that we could just continue lower. We could be trending down here because value is lower and, the one time framing at the moment is lower. So with that, I will bid you all farewell. I will not be live streaming next week at all because I will be visiting my mom and she doesn't have the internet for it. If you're a member of the Brigade, I'll still be, making notes and stuff in the Discord, but I just won't be able to live stream. So for those of you that just watch on the public YouTube, I will see you the week after Christmas. Everybody have a great holiday. Thank you so much for joining me. And we'll see you in like 10 days. Have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.